Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kathy Jarvis, and you've heard the old saying, the April showers bring May flowers. Well, it sure did bring them around here. Now, I know that May has been my busy month, and most of the farmers and gardeners, it has been a busy month. This is the month that you have to get all the crops into the ground so they can grow. But it's also the time that most of the beautiful spring flowers have been blooming. So don't forget to take time and, as they say, take time and smell the roses. But after they're blooming and after they're all through blooming, then you have to go around and deadhead them. Now, I know a lot of people don't deadhead, but if you deadhead your lilacs and your peonies, your daffodils, your narcissus, and irises, what that does is it puts all the energy back into the root instead of making seeds, and that produces a better bloom for the next coming year. So let's start with our lilac bush first. What we do with the lilac bush is, as soon as it's done blooming, you want to cut the head where the bloom was off, because you don't want these little pods to form, and they form seed buds. So you just come back here and right at the base here and snip it off. Simple as that. You go around and do that to all your spent flowers, and that will put all the energy back into the plant to produce flowers for next year, because they will produce their flowers now for next year. They don't wait and do it later on in the year. They're doing it right this minute. So the more of these you get out, the better for the plant. So that's how you do the lilacs. Now, for your irises, when they're through blooming, this stalk here is completely bloomed, so I can take it all the way down to here. Just cut it off and get rid of it. Now, you don't want to take these leaves. The plant needs these leaves to photosynthesize and make food for the roots for next year. So you just chop them off there. You do the same thing with the daffodils. I've already done it to all my daffodils. But what you also do with daffodils is that they'll become a mess that look like this. And you don't want to take this, you don't want to remove this. But what you can do to make it look a little bit neater is just to either tie them together with a string, or what I like to do is I just braid them. Because you want to leave the leaves here so they can continue to photosynthesize and produce food for the root. But you want it to look nice too. So by braiding it like this, it still gets the food, it still gets the sunshine, but it looks a lot neater. Now for your peonies, however you want to say it, you really want to catch them before they do this. See how that one's already dropped all the leaves? You really prefer to catch it before that. And to do that, you just simply take it back to the joint, clip it off, and throw it away. And that's all you have to do with those. Now with your climbing roses, you need to deadhead those as they need it. I don't see any here that need to be deadheaded right now. Your knockout roses do not need anything to do. They're self-cleaning. So that's what I'm doing this afternoon, is deadheading the plants and getting them ready so they can produce a better plant, more blooms next year. And some irises even are double blooming. If they're double blooming, you need to deadhead them now so they can start producing the blooms for next season, for the next time around. And today we're going to look at some of the first roses that are blooming this year so far, and some of the other things that I've gotten done lately. The yellow roses always seem to bloom first. I didn't really get a chance to prune this one back, and it's loaded with new buds and roses. The bee garden, not bee garden, the bird garden is looking quite healthy. It's got a lot of wildflowers in it, phloxes in it. The bee balms are coming back, and it's looking pretty good. I still have to finish doing the path. I haven't got it all the way done yet. And this rose bush is also blooming up a storm. But back here, my irises are starting to bloom. I've got the purple iris there. And back here, the azalea is still blooming over there. I still have to clean this out, chop down some little trees, get some goosegrass out. Goosegrass just seems like it comes everywhere. The wildlife garden has still got a few of the wildflowers growing, but mainly we're just waiting for the next group on this one. You can see the stelbies poking up and the daylilies here. Now, last year I bought some persimmon trees, and this one I put the burlap around it, and you can tell it's got green leaves. Okay, this one over here I didn't put anything around. I just popped it in the ground like they said. And I am still waiting on some signs of life. I've got absolutely nothing. These seem like they do better in the shade. Isn't that beautiful? Do much better in the shade than they do in the sun. The ones in the sun just did not do as well. And then in the iris garden, we have these pretty little things. Daylilies are going crazy. Piney's are really tall. Nothing on this rose yet. And I have these peach colored ones. And then here I have the yellows.
I know that's considered a weed, but I kind of like it. I think it's pretty. It kind of contrasts with the other yellows, so I'm leaving it for the time being. It's got a pretty little flower. Yeah, just because some people call it a wildflower, weed, I call it a wildflower. The white ones are blooming, and if you look real close, you can see my frogs. See them? 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know where the 5th one's at, but he's in there. And got my knockout rose. This is the rose that we pruned earlier, and it's doing really well. More irises. And that is it for out here.
So I hope you've learned something. Hope you enjoyed the video. That's what I'm doing today, and it's something that really should be done every year, and the quicker you get it done, the better. Also, your bridal wreaths and shrubs that bloomed in the spring, if you're going to trim them, They need to be trimmed now, right after they bloomed. You don't wait till fall to do that. You do that now. So remember to share this with your friends, especially if you have any that like flowers. Give it a thumbs up, hit the like button, and remember to subscribe to the channel if you would, please. And dream big, follow that dream, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.